I think you'll be alright, John, just about.
Well, this very appropriate music heralding the arrival of the final aircraft in our D-Day 70th anniversary salute. An aeroplane engaged in the Allied heavy bomber raids that took place in the lead-up to the invasion itself, and indeed continued over northern France thereafter to help smooth the passage of Allied forces across the ground. One of the outstanding American four-engined heavy bombers of the Second World War, and this now the sole flying example of its type in Europe. About to run in from our left, the much-loved Boeing B17G Flying Fortress Sally B. From bases all over East Anglia in particular, from 1942 to 45 as part of the US facilities. But for a long time there wasn't a suitable escort fighter able to accompany the Flying Fortresses, or indeed their counterparts, the consolidated B-24 Liberators, all the way to their targets. However, later came along the P-47 Thunderbolt and the P-51 Mustang. They could accompany the bombers deep into Germany, and B-17 losses decreased gradually as the Allies gained air superiority over Europe. Though, even so, anti-aircraft fire flak was still a danger to the B-17, even with its legendary survivability. Sally B, which is privately operated by B-17 Preservation under the leadership of Ali Salingbo, acts as a flying memorial to the around 79,000 Allied airmen killed in the European theatre of operations, 27,000 of whom belong to the 8th Air Force. In particular, it recalls the huge numbers of 8th Air Force heavy bombers, the B-17s and the B-24s, that flew from East Anglia, and around 2,000 of which alone were lost. This aircraft in many ways is a remarkable survivor. While it wasn't delivered to the US Army Air Force until after the end of the war in Europe, and it saw its operational service out as a trainer and test aircraft before being sold to the Institut Géographique National in France for use on mapping and survey flights. It's the aircraft's career as a flying memorial and an air display performer that really renders it exceptional. In fact, it's been part of the airshow scene now for no fewer than 39 years. A privately owned aircraft, as I said, and one that doesn't receive any official support in any way. And you can imagine that operating a four-engined heavy bomber such as this is a very expensive undertaking indeed. Flying, B-17 Preservation is reliant on charitable donations, sponsorship, souvenir sales, and particularly the support of the volunteers and members who belong to the Sally B Supporters Club. And it's because of the B-17's illustrious wartime history that it's so important to keep it flying for future generations. Supporters Club has some 6,000 members around the world, and it's through that and the aircraft's continued presence as a part of the UK airshow circuit that we remember the brave and often young men who went to war with the 8th Air Force. The chances for them of completing their full combat tour of 25 missions were very low indeed. In order for that to happen, as I said, fundraising is all important, so do visit www.sallyb.org.uk where you can find out more about joining the Supporters Club. In all, 12,731 B17s were produced, not just by Boeing, but also by the factories of other companies that engaged in the production effort, Douglas and Lockheed Vega. This aircraft indeed from the Lockheed Vega stable. Sally B now running in from the right for what will be its final pass. On this I expect to see smoke, generated smoke coming from two of the engines so as to simulate the condition in which so many B-17s return to base. And we dedicate this not only as always to the members of the Sally B Supporters Club, but also to the late Derek Smith, who headed up B-17 preservation sales team, who passed away not so long ago. As I say, a huge number of people have donated over the years to help keep Sally B flying. One of them, the late co-founder of this show, Peter Eager, and his name is among those currently carried on the aircraft, denoting those who have donated and made